Okay, so let's look at the next example. Uh, Next example is a practice question. And then this is also class C subnetting because it's a class IP address is class C, right? And okay, and then what the subnet mask is 224, right? 224. That's the important number here. So there's what just like the previous example, there are what the 5 questions with this formula, right? So let's take a look at this problem. The first, this is classic subnetting, and then IP address is 192.168.10. And then what? 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then subnet mask is 255.255.255 dot what 224, right? 224 is 1 1 1. Okay, so first I'm going to draw the line where the 1 ends, right? This is, by the way, this is what? This is a subnet mask. This is a subnet mask. So I mean, if this is not a subnetting problem, if this is not, if this is a typical problem, then what? This, your left side is your network portions and right side is your host portion, right? This is your host portions. But in case of class C subnetting problem, now it's a subnetting problem, right? So your left side is not really 100% network portions, right? Because of this is a subnetting problem, and then this is what? This is a class C. This is class C. We have to draw the line here, right? So this is what? This is your subnetting portions, and then this is your network portions, right? So in case of class C subnetting, right? Your subnet mask, your left side is what? Pretty much consists of network portions plus subnetting portions, right? But anyway, the subnetting, right? Subnetting is like how many bits? It's 3 bits, right? 1, 2, and 3. 3 bits. So let's read the 3 bits. We can create how many subnets? So this is x is a 3. The formula says 2 to the x, which is 8 subnets. Why? Because what? 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 and keep going, and then 1 0 0. I mean 1 1 1. So actually there's 8 of them. So with the 3 bits, you can create 8 subnets. So let me just draw the diagram here. So we can create 8 subnets, right? So let's say 1, 2, 3, and then 4, right? I'm not going to draw the rest of them. Let's say 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay? So pretty much 8 of them. So the first subnet number is, I mean, this is like a first subnet, and this is a second subnet, and this is a third subnet, and this is fourth subnet. And the first subnet number is what? It's 0 0 0, and then the second subnet is what? 0 0 1, and then 0 1 0, and the fourth subnet is 0 1 1, right? 0 1 1. Okay, so the first subnet, second subnet, third, and fourth, and this is like a number which represent each subnet. So the first one is number 0 0 0, and etc. Okay, so I answered the question. The number of subnet is 8 of them, right? And then 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. I'm not gonna draw all of them because of the space limit. And then the number 2. number of usable host IP addresses per each subnet. So basically what the formula said, 2 to the y minus 2, 1 y minus 2, what? Because one being a broadcast and another one being what? Network address, right? So you have to do minus 2. So in this case is what? Y is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So y is 5. And you can say that, by the way, if you take a look at this, another way of putting this is you borrow the 3 bits from the host portion. So if this is, this is a class C, right? So originally you are supposed to have 8 bits for the host portions, but with the subnetting, right, 3 bits are borrowed from the host portion. So now your host portion is reduced to 5 bits from 8, since the 3 bits are used for the subnetting portions. But anyway, the y is 5, so 2 to the y minus 2, and then this is the answer. So you can have 2 to the 5 minus 2 number of usable host IP addresses, what? Per subnet. So each subnet, right? Each subnet can have, this is about, the 32 minus 2, so this is a 30. So each subnet can have 30 host IP addresses. Each host, okay? So number 3. So what are the valid subnets? Meaning, valid subnets means the network address of each subnet. Okay, so what is the network address of each subnet? So let's use the formula. 256 in this case is what? This is a 224, right? And then the formula said you have to minus to your subnet mask value. In this case is 225. 224, sorry. So 224, then you have 32. So we know that from the 32, your network address for each subnet really, it's really like what? It's a multitude of 32. So 0, 32, and then 64. And if you add 32, then what? 96. And then if you add 32, then what? 8, 128, and etc. Right? So this is important numbers. So your first host, network address, your network address for the first subnet is 192.168.10.0, right? And then your network address for the second subnet is 192.168.10.32. Okay, and then the network address of the third subnet is 192.168.10.64, and etc. Okay, and then let's just go one more. The network address of the fourth subnet is 192.168.10.96. Okay, so number 4. So what? So I'm gonna skip this. It's obvious. And then so let's just do one more time. The network address for the fifth subnet is 192.168.10.128. Okay, the fourth one is broadcast address. So I may ask you, so what is the broadcast address of the first subnet? So the broadcast address of the first subnet is what? Network address of the second subnet minus 1, which is, right, 31. So I may ask you, what is the broadcast address of the second subnet? The answer is what? Network address of the third subnet minus 1, which is, okay, so just so I can ask you, I can just keep going, but let's just, so the fourth one is what is about broadcast address. And then number 5, now is about what? I'm going to ask about usable like host IP address of each subnet. So for example, what is the first usable host IP address of the first subnet? Is what? 192.168.1.1, right? The last usable host IP address is 192.168. Last usable host IP address of the first subnet is 10.30. That's the last usable. So then I can ask you, what is the first usable host IP address of the third subnet? Is what? 192.168.10.65, right? That's the first usable. It's the first usable host IP address. First usable host IP address, right? And then I can say, what is the last? So what is the last usable host IP address of the second subnet? Obviously, is what? 192.168.10. What? 62. So that's last usable host IP address of the second subnet. Okay. So so that's, I may ask you to, hey, what is the first usable host IP address of the fourth subnet? What is the first usable IP address of the fifth subnet, etc. But if you know the basic concept, I think you can answer all of my questions. So the fifth one is really about usable host IP address of each subnet. Okay, so thank you. Let me just stop recording this lecture. Yes.